What is going on, everybody? We are gonna dry brush Kingpin's base here. This is from Marvel Crisis Protocol. I got my trusty #2 Ghost dry brush available on eBay. I have dry brushed many things with this. I've been using it for about a year now. And look at that, it is still going strong. No need to overspend on your dry brush. These are coming in at about $3 a piece. And of course you can chop up old brushes and make dry brushes, so you got options. Here's Kingpin. He is looking pretty cool. I went with the kind of gold suit. We did a live stream for that. I don't think it was focused very good, but you know, we're struggling over here trying to get some content for everybody. So anyway, I still got to do the buttons on him, on his jacket. I'm just not 100% sure how I want to do those buttons yet. But I think we're going to go ahead and just try to make this concrete. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I'm going to start with, I believe, Slaanesh Gray. Now, Slaanesh Gray is kind of a purplish gray. The reason I'm doing this is because Kingpin here has some purplish gray lavender colors mixed into the browns to highlight his skin. Also, he's wearing a yellow suit, so there'll be good contrast. And we're going to turn this gray for sure, but we're just going to do purple first. It's going to be kind of concrete, hopefully. But we're going to go ahead and start with this purple color. That way there'll be some variation in the stone or concrete, whatever. I think it's all the same. I can't figure out if there's any different texture I'm supposed to be doing. I think it's just all the same. So we'll just go ahead and do that. You can be nice and rough with these dry brushes and really scrub it in. And there we go. We're just building up a kind of purplish gray tone here. Let me get a little more paint on the brush. There we go. That's a lot more paint. I wasn't quite getting much from the cap, but I guess it's because this paint is so thick now, which now I got likely way too much. Oh well, with dry brushing you just keep wiping it off until it, make sure you, this is a good way to check too, you do a press and roll, sorry, so press and roll, and that, if you have a lot of paint left in there, that'll help squeeze it out. This is just the first layer too, so it's not that big of a deal if we get a little extra. But the more paint on this that's not dry when we do the next layer, the more it's going to blend and not dry brush. But that's okay. So there we go. We got it dry brushed a lavender color here. It's hard to tell on camera, but I assure you it is somewhat a lavender color. Next I'm going to go with Celestra Gray. I love this gray. It is one of my absolute favorite GW paints. It's perfect for eyeballs. If you watch the live stream, I didn't actually finish the eyes yet, but I did do it afterwards, so you'll see that in the pictures if you follow me on Instagram. So we're going to kind of stipple this. Just trying to create some variation in the tones. I can't remember if I said it or not, but I'm going to fill that little pothole with like water effect. Try to make it look like maybe, you know when like water's sitting in a parking lot and it picks up a bunch of like oil and stuff that leaked from cars, and it has almost that little glow shimmer to it. we're going to try that on there. So hopefully that works. Next up, we are going with some kind of light blue color, which I think we'll go with Frostbite. This is P3. You can just bounce around between any colors you like. Just progressively getting a little lighter and a little more gray blue as you go. And that should achieve some sort of concrete effect. And we'll just keep scrubbing that on. And that's not too bad right there. I think that's about as far as we'll need to go, probably. So it's probably, can't really see it on camera so much, but there are hints of purple undertones in my base here, so pretty cool. And then let's go Pallid Witch Flesh. This one's really actually kind of like a really light bone white. And I think we're just, well, looks like we kind of picked up a little of the purple and the blue, but that's okay. We're going to kind of stipple this on and just create some, I guess, variation in the panels where the base itself is showing like more little nicks and cracks in these areas. Another option you could try would be maybe try to achieve like a street light effect, but I don't really know how to do that. Well, I could figure it out, but I've never done it before. But I'm pretty sure if you just airbrush light into the center, that would make it look like this base was lit by like maybe an overhead street light. The only problem is when you glue the model on, it's going to completely ignore the fact that if he was standing right under a street light, the center under him should actually be dark because it would be a cast shadow. But that's never the case when I see people do it in miniature painting. So sometimes if you just lighten the center, you can get that nice, I don't know, kind of like he's lit up spotlight. It might be like a video game content sort of thing. All right, so I just rinsed off the dry brush a couple times and scrubbed it on a paper or rag, not a paper towel, but so there we go. Nice dry brush concrete look. He'll go on something like this. And now let's go ahead. Good thing with dry brushing is it dries fast, hopefully. So I'm going to go with this panel line black from Tamiya. If you don't want to use this, or you don't have this, get this Death Shroud Clear Air. It's very much like an oil paint, pin wash type paint. I used it on Kingpin himself, but just for this base, I'm going to go ahead and play with this panel line color. So I want to show you this one. Generally, if you put it in a crack, hopefully we can see it, it'll run all the way down the crack naturally. So that Death Shroud Clear doesn't do that, but it's still a really good paint for painting into cracks and works really, really well. But I kind of wanted to go with this more dramatic effect for the video, and so we can watch it fill in the little lines and get it all nice and panel lined. There we go, we got some dark lines in there. And I'll go ahead and put it in the little crack here. And I'm going to put it in these too. Or around these, not in them. I mean, I did put it in it, but I meant around. just to create some kind of staining or variation. I think these might supposed to be metal, so we might actually make those metal. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get a few of these chips. And even though it looks dramatically dark, it'll brighten up. Or not, yeah, the effect won't be as dramatic once it's dry. So there we go, we're put that on. And that's about all we need to do. You got a pretty good looking base right there. Now we can't do anything else until this is dry, so we're gonna have to set it aside. So I just wanted to show you a really quick way to make a good looking concrete base. Use something to darken the lines, and you got something that's pretty cool. Very, very quick. And there you go. Of course, we'll paint all of this black, like around this rim. One thing I don't like about the marble bases is they have a little lip. So they have like their concrete, but then they have this little beveled lip, which is a pain because you have to then paint that part. You can't just run your paintbrush around the side like a GW brace. So you have to get this little part too. But that's it. I just wanted to show you a quick thing, and hopefully you enjoyed it. A little demonstration to paint some quick concrete looking sidewalk basing for your Marvel Crisis Protocol. Please, please, please hit the like button and subscribe. And hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you stick around and watch a few more. I'll talk to you next time.